Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome. The Thoughts Count Anywhere come to you live from the Go Live Vegas studios in the heart of Las Vegas. This is our Elimination Chamber show, Elimination Reaction Chamber show. We promise, well, by law, we cannot show any footage of the event, but we do have the pay-per-view on in studio, off camera.
Yes, we do.
We will do our best to just be a reactionary
and
show
I may
to
just
shit
watch
that goes
the
on.
damn thing and not say nothing.
Well, that's okay. I have to admit, during the last show, when I was watching the pre-show match, which was Mysterio and The Miz, I like with 3 minutes left in the penalty box, I kind of zoned out as watching the tail end of the pre-show match, and it was like dead air. But anyway, so pre-show's off the air. They're going to the actual event now in a few minutes. So we have that on in the studio. Anybody watching, listening in the chat room, we're going to do our best not to provide results because we know a lot of people like to record it, watch it later, but we may give reactions if we see something bizarre going like, holy shit, or did you just see that?
You may hear a damn
That's right.
or an oh shit.
That's right. I wish we had a Ron Simmons damn as a drop. That would be pretty good. Every time we go, boop.
No,
Okay.
not the beep.
702-329-6947. Press the number 1 to come into the studio and chat with us about Elimination Chamber, about The Undertaker, going into the Hall of Fame, whatever you want to talk about. Cody Rhodes. Well,
My sources tell me that Cody Rhodes had a direct flight to Saudi Arabia, landed in Saudi Arabia, and had a group take him right to the ring. So let's see what happens.
I'll just say, as reported, I'm busted open so we don't get in trouble. Anyway.
The chief knows
Could be
people.
a work. It could be a work.
Could
Who
be
knows?
a work. Who knows?
Anyway, so a lot going on with that. We have a lot to talk about as well. So, as always, though, we cannot start our show until we have a brand new favorite opening. Not what cereal is our producer eating, because he doesn't do cereal anymore. We have to guess what donut he ate. Maybe that's the way we need to change it. But it is now time for...
Cream-filled, his fingers are sticky.
That's still... No, that's last week still.
No, he's got it on his nose.
It is now time for Story Time with Matt.
It is now story time with the enforcer, Matt Mullen.
So this week's story, the Neonopolis was basically a reality show on Valentine's Day.
Ooh.
They were doing free weddings at Denny's. Just imagine the group of people you would think would get married at a Denny's. That's who was getting married at Denny's. I think they all met on Ancestry.com.
Did they do one big wedding for everybody?
No. It was a bunch of little ones. They had like a huge line. Just beyond me, but looks like the trailer parks were empty in town.
Did they get like a free meal at the end for hosting it there? Did they get anything from Denny's?
You got like free cake pops that were like pancakes.
2 for 1 or something like that.
I don't know.
Just checking.
But then the actual wedding chapel had like this huge party, and it was full of like Cuban people, and they were all being assholes, thought they were better than everybody.
Oh, okay.
And I kind of like looked over and like by our bike rack, and there was like these 6 dudes staring at him, and I was like, those guys kind of look like cops. And I like went around my business, started checking the security cameras, and I see all these Metro cars start pulling up, and they start talking to those 6 guys, and I'm like, oh, something's going on. And I was like trying to figure out who they were eyeing, and as soon as this group walks out of that door, the groom got bombarded by the FBI and arrested.
Happy wedding day!
Pretty much.
You're gonna be capping off your wedding in a very different way than he expected. I can tell you that much. I'm sure.
Apparently, he was wanted out of Florida for multiple homicides. So there ain't gonna be no honeymoon for a hot while.
Good morning, Chant.
Oh my God! Thank you for listening to us along the app. Go Live Vegas mobile app 702-329-6947. Give us a shout with anything wrestling related. Twitter, #ThoughtsCountAnywhere. Our Twitter machine during Penalty Box was very busy this morning.
Yep. And Jeff Cody, good morning to you too, sir.
All right. Welcome to everybody that's out there. We appreciate it. Join in on the conversation. Okay. So let's get started with I Hear Voices. Rumor is Stone Cold Steve Austin will return for WrestleMania and possibly will have some matches afterwards. Rumor is that it could be Stone Cold and Kevin Owens. That's the name being bantered around if they make it happen. gentlemen?
Was on Raw. Kevin Owens did that random "I hate Texas" thing, and that kind of set it off like almost instantly because Stone Cold's from there, and
right?
Thinking about, what do you mean you're talking about Texas? God damn it! But I'd love to see Stone Cold back. That place will get an eruption like no one's ever seen, and there's a lot of people want to see him wrestle now. So
eruption, not erection.
Hopefully, he's got a little run in him.
It would be, well, he hasn't wrestled in what, 12 years, 13 years?
Since WrestleMania 19, they're on 38, so 19
there you go.
years.
So, Chief?
One of the shows that I watched, when, the shows that they're looking for the wrestlers' garb and stuff to go into the history.
Yeah, the treasures.
They did a Stone Cold segment, and if I remember right, Stone Cold said he couldn't wrestle anymore because of his knees.
It said for a long time he couldn't wrestle because of his neck, and we see where he is.
I just, hey, I don't want to see him get hurt, but if he wants to come back and knock the shit out of Kevin Owens, I'm okay with that. Let's see who gets the most beeps today.
Challenge accepted.
Fuck that. Anyway, so he missed mine, but we know it would be beeped if you heard it.
It don't count if it's not beeped.
Let's see.
What do we got?
Media Hassan, we were staying awake for hashtag WWE always, but today Americans will stay awake for it, i.e. the Chamber. So
you are right.
Okay? That's right. People, listen, the last time
I had a hard stay awake to get up at 9 in the morning.
Yes.
It was about a year or two ago that the Chamber match was on at a time here that was like ridiculous, like 2 in the morning or something. There was some, may not have been a Saudi Arabia show,
right?
But I remember a while back it was like on a Thursday at like 2 in the morning,
right?
Based on time change. So listen, it's the Chamber, it's Saudi Arabia. Having the Chamber out there is very different, and. Okay, well, John Rosado, he's awake, he's hungover, drinking a Dunkin' Donuts iced mocha latte. He's ready to watch some live WWE, and he can get used to this.
Hey, thanks for shouting into us, John. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it, buddy.
Appreciate those comments coming. Now, we may not get to all of them as we talk, as we do our thing, but we appreciate the comments coming in, and I ask that you please keep them wrestling related. No politics or religion comments, please. That would greatly appreciate it.
Morning, sister. How you doing today?
All right. Next topic.
Ding, ding, ding.
Rumor is that WWE has another Austin-level surprise for WrestleMania. I did not see this.
I saw that. There's only like 3 names that could possibly be that are Austin level.
Is this Steve Austin or Austin Theory? Which one?
The entire roster's Austin Theory level surprises.
Well, I'm just asking.
You mean for the surprise you're talking about?
Yeah.
I have no idea because I have not read or seen anything that there's another surprise. We know, and we'll touch on this in a little bit. We know Undertaker is being inducted. His name always comes up around WrestleMania time, but if he's being inducted into Hall of Fame that same weekend, would it make sense that he would be the surprise to come in and do something at WrestleMania 2?
Taker?
I don't know. Yeah.
It would have to be either Undertaker, Rock, or Cena, or like the only names that are Austin level.
No, I could see The Rock coming in if they want to kick off a year-long storyline with Roman.
Yeah.
To WrestleMania next year. That would make sense.
I can see him winning like both belts. He holds them up. If you smell. That place would go nuts.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. That would be something. Cena, Cena's in the 3 names that he put in there, in my opinion, Rock, Cena would be the first 2 that would come to mind first, then Taker as in-ring appearance, but
I don't even want to see John Cena. I want to see Peacemaker versus somebody at WrestleMania.
What's the female's name? Who's
not Moolah?
Still hurt. Still hurt. That's
Bailey. Asuka.
Maybe it's
which one?
Maybe it's Bailey. Maybe
Bailey is not
Bailey
Stone Cold level anything.
She carried the company for a long time.
So here's what. People must be watching the Chamber because there are tweets coming in. Tim Lack sends in, if Oldberg wins, I riot. Hashtag WWE, hashtag WWE champion. So we're
I
gonna
would bet my paycheck Goldberg does not win this match.
Hey, Tim, if Goldberg wins, I'll riot with you because I'm older than Goldberg and he needs to go.
Pax writes in also, if Roman loses, we riot. So, so we've not a whole lot of many Goldberg supporters out there. Supposedly, this is his last match currently under his current contract with WWE. But then
darn.
But then again, I saw something sneak in that there may be some other things down the line. Andrew sends in, let WWE, Roman Reigns, and Goldberg fight. Let them fight. Let them do their thing. Listen, we've seen in the past, as of recently, Goldberg's cardio for matches doesn't go beyond 5 to 7 minutes at best. I think we're going to see some spears going back and forth, etc. But I don't see this being a long match.
Shan put in a good word. I mean, we've seen Edge, Bryan Danielson, and others come back from career-ending neck head injuries. I will believe seeing Stone Cold having a match until I see it.
I sort of agree with that. Listen, if anything, I would expect him to at least show up. I mean, look at The Rock. I don't know if you guys saw what he did at the opening of the Super Bowl. He did a wrestling-esque promo.
Yep.
I could see Austin somehow being involved in being around a match or somehow whatever. But again, being in ring may be in doubt.
Who do you think would be the?
Hi, Brandy. Thank you.
Who do you think will be the big match for WrestleMania?
Which night?
Roman Lesnar.
Okay.
Title for title.
Okay.
Spoiler.
How about Roman and Lesnar for title, and Stone Cold be the referee?
No, I want to see Stone Cold wrestle.
Oh, I do too.
He's done that like 100 times.
I do too, but I think I'd like to see him ref that match and knock the shit out of both of them.
Brandy puts into the chat room, do you find it suspicious that Shane McMahon gets let go and a couple of weeks later Cody leaves AEW, and now there's talk of each going to the respective company? I'm feeling a big work. There is a lot of talk about Cody's situation with AEW being a work on its own.
Yeah.
Shane going to AEW, I don't think he would do that. I think he'd sooner start his own entity to go against, quote-unquote, the WWE than I would see him sooner walking out. Because, look, Cody Rhodes was a founder of AEW, right? More or less, right? One of the starting pieces to AEW. And he lost control of creative. He lost control of stuff. Why do we think Shane McMahon would be able to go into AEW with Tony Khan and have a position that's worthy of him being part of AEW? Certainly not to be in ring, that's for sure, in my opinion. So, gentlemen,
for Tony Khan to be like, I have a McMahon on the roster.
Well, yeah, absolutely. That would be an interesting feather in his cap. Chief?
I don't think Shane has the capability. He has the capability of starting an organization, but I really think that unless he surrounded himself with the right people, the company would be run into the ground.
Could he run it with Triple H? I know about his health and the stress and all of that. I'm putting that aside.
I wish you wouldn't have asked
me
that
Could you put that
question.
previous one back up? Fang on Fire said, the Twitter message that came in just before this one asks about what our thoughts are on the rumors of Cody being part of WWE and coming back. This one, Fang on Fire says, I don't think Cody Rhodes is going to return to WWE, guys. It's all smoke and mirrors. So he's of the mind that it's a work from AEW's standpoint.
In reply to your question, at this point in time, Triple H is not going to be around the wrestling venues, period. From what I know and what I've been told confidentially, he has been asked not to go around wrestling venues at all. So in response to Sean and Triple H, that's not going to happen, at least not now.
Desert Shark says Shane McMahon will go with EC3 and Braun.
No.
Hashtag
hell no.
Control your narrative. Brandy says Shane needs, like you just said, Shane needs to stay far away from the narrative TikTok.
No.
Okay.
I can see that happening, honestly.
No.
Right?
Shane will not go with EC3 and Braun Strowman or whatever his real name is. That will not happen.
Adam Shearer.
Adam Shearer, that will not happen.
Or you can call him whatever you
Killer
want to.
Cross or Bray Wyatt or Bo Dallas or... They got a roster.
That may happen. We know Kevin's going to be there. Okay, that's already been announced for the show in Dallas.
Right, at the end of March.
That's going to happen. So the main thing, creativity, no contracts, so there's no control over the wrestlers other than the night they're wrestling their match at the shows. And Shane, no, I won't say Shane. McMahon's don't work that way.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
McMahon's want control. So, Shant, I disagree with you, sir.
Uncle Smooth sends in through Twitter, sucks that we know WWE is setting this Roman versus Brock match for WrestleMania as a possible title for title. So, this title match right now between him and Goldberg is just effing stupid. Now, thank you, Uncle. Now, I want to say this, though. When they go to these shows, I didn't say it. I said partially. I just repeated what I'm trying to keep it clean. Fuck that. Anyway, so got to talk about the whole thing. So when you talk about what is happening with this whole narrative, okay, is it all a work? I mean, I jokingly put in one of our chat rooms when I first saw the Control Your Narrative, well, hell, if everybody's starting it, why don't we all just start our own promotion?
Exactly.
This kind of stuff, in my opinion, dilutes what's out there in the wrestling shows, but the Control Your Narrative doesn't want to operate under contracts.
Well, I think you've brought some stuff up before. The one thing to look at and I don't know for a fact, but the company that EC3 and
Strowman, you can go with Strowman.
Yeah, Braun is starting. They one thing you realize, the wrestlers are only coming in for the match.
Right.
Okay, there's no contract, so therefore there's no health insurance.
So you're talking about really 1099s. You're really talking about well, they're all independent contractors. But if they're going to work with the new company, the Control Your Narrative folks, that is the epitome of a 1099 because they're going in for a show and they're out. Going to another show and another show. They're working for themselves.
Exactly.
And
there's nothing wrong with that.
In that case, WWE's under all contract, and they don't got health insurance either.
No, aren't they 1099? I know they're under contract, but I thought they were 1099 with no benefits, which is why Wrestle Connects was created. Right? I mean, I could be wrong with that, but
the only wrestlers that have health insurance are the ones that are listed as employees in AEW.
Correct.
Which is all the top guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's going to be a lot of messages firing through on our Twitter machine. Melissa writes in, if this old man wins, I'm suing WWE. All right. So with that, we're going to
which old man?
I
always win.
That's
what are
right.
you talking about, Melissa?
On that note, we're going to step aside for our first break. You're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. This is the Elimination Chamber Edition reaction show. We'll be right back.
I have a feeling this match is going to be over before the commercial.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts Count Anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit, all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
right, welcome back. Much to our surprise, the first match between Goldberg and Reigns is still going on at this point.
We were taking odds to see how long it was.
I thought the bell was going to ring and Roman was immediately going to spear him.
Speedy Weeble, I love that name, out on Twitter, and this is great to hear. First time I get to watch a live WWE event, and I'm quite excited, LOL. Well, I don't know if that's true or not or how true it is, but Speedy, if it is your first event, good for you. We appreciate you listening, watching, however, everybody. And want to shout out to everybody who's listening on the Go Live Vegas mobile app right now. Alexa's not working right now. Oh, jeez. That one I won't repeat. Well, I mean, just the Twitter handle. I'd get beeped, and I don't want to win the competition. There, I didn't say it.
Hey,
jeez.
That sounds like a friend of mine I know that always comments to me about seeing it on the radio.
Yo, yeah, where is Sean? We haven't seen him in a while.
He's working.
Jeez. Yeah, he had a busy weekend last week with the Super Bowl, didn't he?
Yeah.
Hey, can you go to the laptop for a moment, if you don't mind, sir, Mr. Producer? I want to go to the laptop because thoughtscountanywhere.com has a lot of great merchandise. No, that's right. Huh? What do you mean? I'm looking at the laptop. I have our website up. Okay, well, then let's look at it at break time.
You had one job.
What's up with this?
Roman's baby girl on Twitter says, Roman's baby girl.
I wonder who she's going to want to win.
I thought it was a spear versus spear. WWE lies. Well, it wasn't that the way that Goldberg and Braun went at it, right? Their match at that WrestleMania was pretty much spear versus spear. Okay, thoughtscountanywhere.com. Go to the shop tab. We have plenty of shirts out there available. This is our newest one, which, of course, is a staple now that we have Story Time with Matt as a wonderful opening segment to the show. You can get this out there as well on our site. Click on the shirt that you want. This is pretty cool. I love the, by the way, I love the police tape on there. Brandy says, we miss you, Sean. Come on. Here we go. Whoops.
Hey, I want everybody to chime in. What do you all think about Undertaker being the first announced for the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, we'll get to that, but that's a great way to segue into that. Have everybody get their thoughts together. But here's the shirt. It's available. Story Time with Matt for only $20. All sizes are available up to 3X.
My man, Matt.
If you see, it comes in two colors. We have the black and the royal blue. But check this out. You hit this little drop-down arrow right here. Maybe you're not a T-shirt person. Well, that's okay. Ladies can get their own tees. Kids, long sleeve, unisex tanks, face covers. If you're still wearing masks, have Matt on your face via the Facebook cover.
Giggity.
But anyway, that's the same thing. But get this one, $20.
Send your application too. No, I'm just kidding.
You have to.
I will screen the applications for you, sir.
Right. You have to fill out an application to buy a mask to have Matt on your face, I guess is what he's alluding to. There you go. But there's a lot of great shirts out there because, again, we are still supporting the Nevada Coalition for Suicide Prevention. So we still have those shirts out there where 100% of the proceeds that we sell of this shirt, Eat, Sleep, Watch Wrestling, Repeat, #GotGarth, as well as Eat, Sleep, Sell Cars, Repeat. All proceeds that we get, net proceeds on these two shirts, are being donated to the Nevada Coalition. But there's other shirts as well as we are watching the chamber match continue between these two for the title. Right now, I don't know how I can say what's going on here. There's blood on the top of Goldberg's head. That must be when he did his banging of the head to come out thing like he did a year ago.
I don't know why we just didn't say anything. If you're watching an internet wrestling show,
somebody
next to an internet pay-per-view.
Well, Peacock's not on the internet unless you have Peacock on your computer, technically.
Somebody was on top, somebody's on bottom.
Well, and I think the referee...
Peacock is a streaming service.
Whoa.
I believe it looks like that the match is over at this point. I'm just going to say that the match is over.
Damn, that looks like me when my false teeth are
it's like Goldberg choked
out of the mouth.
Yeah, Goldberg choked at this opportunity, it would appear. But, okay, so that match is over in about, well, I would love to, we didn't have the clock running. We should have the clock running on how long that match lasted. I think it lasted a little bit longer than most people thought.
And Brandy told us how she felt. Yes, it's over now. Go away, Goldberg.
Oldberg. Okay. Let's get in. You know what? Let's roll right in. Oh, by the way, the last rumor was Johnny Knoxville will have a title match at Mania. Listen, I'm going to get beeped, and I purposely want to do this. Get him the fuck out of there. That's bullshit. If he's going to get a title match at WrestleMania, what is he going to get a title match for? One of the women's belts? What?
That's
Sami Zayn. He just won the Intercontinental
I
title.
know he won,
that's
but
that's storylines of WWE's creative writing, which is shit. I should have worn my shirt today, damn it, and I forgot.
That's all right.
Son
So
of a gun.
I'm telling you what, if I see Knoxville in Mania, even against Sami Zayn, which, by the way, I'm glad he won the belt. And this isn't the first time he's won the belt from Shinsuke, I believe. I believe he's won that belt before from Shinsuke. That belt is really going down the ladder of importance, and it's a shame because the Intercontinental belt used to be the number 2 belt in wrestling. It was whoever had that belt was basically being prepped to be your heavyweight champion
Pat
next
Patterson.
go-round. Absolutely.
Pedro
Don Morocco,
Morales.
Pedro Morales, Randy Savage. You're a great. Even The Miz.
Yeah.
Let's give Miz his props. Although he's never won the heavyweight champ enough times to equate to the number of times he's won the IC belt.
No.
But I don't want to see Knoxville going up against Sandy. Are you kidding me? Bjorn Ironside, yes, Elimination Chamber live from Jeddah. I said Judah, Jeddah as we speak. Okay, let's segue into The Undertaker since, Chief, you brought it up. I am donning my Taker gear with the hat and T-shirt. Thank you, Taker. Your thoughts on it, Matt? Oh, well, he's typing something. So, Chief, give me your thoughts on Taker going in. And we have about 3 or 4 minutes away from Chief's rant.
My thought, long overdue.
Well, he's only out, 2 years?
You know what, though? Why can't you go into the Hall of Fame before you retire? Okay?
Because God forbid something happens to taint your Hall of Fame position.
You can. It can happen.
So let me ask you a question. And I'm playing devil's advocate
Stone
here.
Cold should be in there, too.
Totally agree. Especially all that he continues to do for WWE.
He's been in there.
He is in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
WrestleMania 21.
Yeah.
let me ask you this question.
What?
Okay.
Talk to me.
I
like your shirt.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit.
Prior to all of that stuff.
Yes.
Was he a Hall of Famer?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So is Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, no. I'm not putting Guerrero in there. Think of the Chris Benoit situation. You asked why wrestlers shouldn't be voted in while they read. This is I'm just putting this out there.
You're being the devil's advocate now. I understand.
So Chris Benoit, Hall of Fame career, then all the situation came up with the steroids, the killing of the family, etc.
And you know what? Has any of that been proven?
Yeah, they had evidence in the house.
Okay. Has any of it been proven?
Yes, they had evidence in the house.
In court.
They had evidence in that. Well, there's nobody to take the court. Everybody's dead. But the investigators found evidence.
And investigators can be wrong.
My point, though, is...
And my point is... Go ahead.
He's not voted into the Hall of Fame. Did those events taint the possibility of him being inducted to the Hall of Fame?
Well, I think what's good for business and what Vince McMahon looked at, Vince said he's not going in the Hall of Fame. But if you want to look at it, the same thing could probably be said with Randy Savage.
Shan puts in there, Ric Flair went into the Hall of Fame before he retired. Before he officially retired, but he was not
the day before.
But he wasn't an active wrestler. He was not like we see today on TV every week. So there's a difference. Ric Flair, in my opinion, yes, multiple-time Hall of Famer, got in before he officially retired. However, he was supposed to be retired when he faced Shawn Michaels in that retirement match. But did he retire? No.
Well,
but his performing at the time he got put in is nothing in comparison to what the Taker may have done if he went in.
I think we heard something this morning, and I'll put it this way.
Okay.
When you're told to do something and you're under contract, you're going to do it.
Yeah, that was quite a conversation that they had regarding Ronda Rousey and the four ladies last night, the contract signing. But my point is that...
Am I right?
No, absolutely. I totally agree.
So then Ric Flair was told to do something, went in the Hall of Fame and kept wrestling. Who told him?
But did he really wrestle?
But who told him?
How long did he really wrestle? Vince did.
Who told him to do it?
Vince. I
get
it.
I rest my case then.
Was he a valid, active, every week wrestler at the time he went into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah. When you put Ric Flair out on the stage, you're gonna make money, and one of our friends who is a Hall of Famer and started this program has said more than once to us, it's all about the money.
No question.
It's
Would
not
you pay
about
to see
the
Ric
fans.
Flair in the ring right now?
Hell yeah.
To wrestle?
Dear God,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
At 70 plus with all
Yes,
the
I would. Because he's just as good as half of the jabronis that they got on TV right now.
Today as an active wrestler?
Yes.
Just because Tully took a
He's
bump.
gonna die on that old school hill.
Hey, you asking me?
No. I get it.
You guys are asking me. I'm giving you my answer. You may not like my answer. I don't particularly care, but you asked me if I wanted to see. Hell yeah. And you go down into the Carolinas and you put Flair on a stage, Flair's going to draw for you. No doubt about it.
He draws good for like autograph signings. No one wants to see him wrestle now.
I would not pay to see him wrestle in the ring. Not at his age.
That's your opinion.
Okay, right. And I'm entitled to it just as you are. And that's why we love the show. Because
That's
it's all
right.
conversation.
Exactly.
His entire offense is a chop, a woo, and a figure four. So
That's okay.
You can probably pull that nonsense off at any age.
That's okay.
All right. With that, they're getting ready to do the ladies' Elimination Chamber match, it looks like, as they were just showing that. The cage is down. So with that,
Who's going to win?
I wonder who.
That's a good question. I'm just thinking about who all is in the chamber real quickly as they're introducing. Let's go over it real quickly. You have Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Doudrop, Nikki Ash, and Alexa Bliss. I think Alexa does.
You know, to be honest with you, I'm okay with Liv or Rhea or Bianca or Alexa.
Not just on Nikki.
Just not Nikki or Doudrop?
Exactly.
And I wish Doudrop would get her due, so to speak. Desi says Bianca's going to win out on Twitter. Because listen, Piper Niven, when she was overseas, she was highly regarded as a tremendous wrestler. I don't think we're seeing that in the WWE as usual when someone comes
I don't
in.
want Doudrop to win anything. I want Piper Niven to win.
Do they give Bianca an how do I want to put it? A push to appear at WrestleMania again for
I
a
hope
belt
so.
after what happened to her.
I certainly think
what was it, 26-second match?
Something like that.
You know,
I hope so.
I
Maybe
think-
she wins it and gets back to it.
I think she's due.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Totally. I would
think
not be
she's-
surprised.
I
I'd be
think
okay with
she's
that.
due.
I want to see Alexa Bliss win, but I'm pretty sure Bianca is going to win to get her revenge from SummerSlam.
Well, why do you say that? That you want to see Alexa win? Why?
Because she hasn't been. She's like a top performer, and she hasn't wrestled in 6 months, so she got to put herself right up there to begin with.
And you're saying she's not a top performer, Bianca? Is that what you're saying?
She is, but Alexa Bliss is just coming back.
Now look, here's Doudrop.
Okay.
Now remember, they're in Saudi Arabia, and
is there
the
a
lady,
time delay?
the lady wrestlers have to dress with no skin showing. They have to be dressed and covered
that's
from
right.
head
I
to
forgot
toe.
about that.
So the ladies are now. Bianca came out almost similar in gear to what we normally would see her wrestle in, but now Doudrop, who we know, she's now in a full body wrestling gear to
A full body.
That's a lot of plaid.
Full body suit.
lot of plaid and a lot of latex. But anyway, but okay, it is time for. I know I'm trying to get to them, but but they're still talking about the previous match. So, well, that's all right. Keep putting them up there. I said at the beginning of the show, I'm going to try to get to as many of those comments as they pop up because we's got business, whatever that means. Wheezy.
I
Good
really
times.
want to spend an entire show
Oh, the
reading
Jeffersons.
Twitter messages.
I know. Well, it's a reactionary show. That's all right. All right, with that, speaking of reaction, the best 3 minutes I think people believe on this show is the Chiefs rant. So with that, it is time for the Chiefs rant.
Hey, good morning, folks. It's the Chief. My 3 minutes of fame is now 2:58. Let me talk to you today about this. I get tired, and we three have always bought and paid for product, 8x10s, 11x14s, wrestling memorabilia, wrestling attire, wrestling whatever. And I told a couple of my friends this morning that I was going to do this, and I did not ask for people's names because I don't want to embarrass them, because I'd shout them out, and I know my colleague next to me would too. But you know what, damn it?
I'm always up to embarrass.
If you go on a site and you buy wrestling memorabilia and you bid on it, or you say you're going to buy it, you know what? Pay for the damn shit, or don't go on the damn site. It's that simple. You know, Top Rope Collectibles is one of the most creditable places that you can buy wrestling memorabilia. And for them to have to come out and say, we've got people that didn't pay. Well, you know what? I agree with them. Put them on their blacklist and blast them out to the wrestling community so that they can't go elsewhere. And maybe there's something that I wanted that I bid on, I didn't get because some asshole bid on it, and then a week later decides, oh, I'm not going to pay for it. I don't want it. You know what? That's just wrong. It's called good faith. So that's the Chief's rant today. The Chief over and out.
There you have it. As the ladies are getting set, the 4 competitors are in their chambers. Bianca, Rhea Ripley, Doudrop, and Bianca are starting in their chamber. Now coming out, it looks like it's going to be Nikki Ash and Alexa Bliss, I think, to start that off. So,
wonder if Nikki or if Alexa comes out to her like crazy theme, or like her original.
Well, didn't they say that she's cured?
Said
now?
She's cured, but she still had Lily. So, I don't
but
know.
as long as the stuffing's in Lily, she's okay.
Yeah.
Carlos, thank you for jumping in the chat room. Of course.
See. What's Brandy put up there?
Brandy says, I do like the way that they've done the women's gear for the show instead of just putting a T-shirt over the suit.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah,
they've done it. It looks good.
They've done it very smartly. Now, Alexa, when she was in her original persona, she was usually in a 2-piece.
Yeah.
Right? And then when she was the crazy Alexa, she was also in the 2-piece, but more the plaid and the, what's her name, from Suicide Squad.
I don't know.
Why am I Harley Quinn?
Harley Quinn style look. So it'll be interesting to see what she comes out as. So we're just waiting for one more participant. Okay, so good job with the rant. Totally agree. I purchased a couple items over this weekend from TRC, and I paid, and they sent me copies of the slips and everything. Oh, Liv Morgan, not Alexa Bliss.
Hey, Carlos.
Anyway,
thanks for shouting that in. I appreciate that, brother, and you're one of the good ones.
Wow, Liv Morgan. She looks good in latex. Anyway, I digress. Okay, sorry. So they're getting ready to go for that. All right, so let's go back to the Taker. The Taker's in. Is he do you think that he should be the only one going into Hall of Fame this year?
No, I think they should have like a class, but they said they're going to do like the Hall of Fame after a SmackDown. I think they should put the rest of the Hall of Fame class after that SmackDown and do the Undertaker at AT&T Stadium during like the pre-show of WrestleMania and let him do his induction speech in front of 100,000 people.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was very surprised. And this all came from the press release from the WWE that, like you said, they are going to do it at the SmackDown event, which means after people are sitting around for 4 hours or 3 hours or whatever it is for the SmackDown card, now all of a sudden they're going to then have to stick around for however long. And quite frankly, they should not put a time limit on The Undertaker, which they usually do with speeches with everybody else. Last year they put time limits on it. You got to give this guy full due, man. You got to give him full due. Let him do his thing out there, and go from there and get inducted and do his thing. Alexa Bliss now being introduced with the new introduction coming out. Well, that kind of answers our question. We'll leave the description of her wrestling gear for those who maybe have recorded this and will watch it later. But kind of mixed message, don't you think, about the character? We were just talking about whether she comes back in Fiend-like character or old Alexa Bliss. We don't see Lily in tow, but kind of mixed cross here. Would you not agree, gents, with her ring gear?
Yes.
And even her look, even her physical, even her facial expressions and look coming into the ring, sans a reminder of the connection to Bray Wyatt and The Fiend.
You know, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Even when she was in other character,
right,
old character, she still got cheered by the fans.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to say. I'm just going to say, I saw a lot of people just clapping. So that's good to see. I like that.
Well, and that's the true wrestling fans for sure. So let's see. Chance says, contrary to Chief's rant that goes to the wrestlers when they're trying to get ring gear, one of our local wrestlers, I will not name, had some trouble and put someone on blast. So that's about ring gear. I
have no idea about that.
So Carlos says thanks. He appreciates that.
You're welcome.
There's a lot.
You're
look
welcome,
at her,
Carlos.
Look at her.
That's
her
awesome.
pod is all set. Has a playground in it. Let's just leave it at that, shall we? That's interesting. All right. So all the competitors looks like they are in their chamber pod. We know that Nikki and it looks like Liv Morgan will get the start, I guess, in the ring. It's interesting because they usually introduce all the pod participants first, then the two start, but obviously they change it up for Lex's return.
For last.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have the volume on, obviously, here in the studio, so we don't know audity-wise the kind of response the crowd gave her, but it certainly looked like everybody was happy to see her back.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, so much pleather. Who says that? Oh, Shui Nostalgia Company. Well, remember, Shui, they had to do that based on the rules of Saudi Arabia. And I want to go back to something that I had a thought before with Goldberg in the match. People forget that the Saudi Arabia prince dictates to Vince who he wants at these matches in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why Goldberg appears in Saudi Arabia.
Ash there?
Yeah, then why is Nikki Ash there? Well, here they're trying to keep to the storylines, of course. But, you know, a lot of favorites coming in on Liv Morgan coming in. Now Nikki Ash just kind of staring everybody down in the pods. But Taker. Okay, so you believe a night at WrestleMania, as do I, should be his platform.
Hell yeah.
Because doing it at a SmackDown taping and everything is going to be a long night for those people there. Chief, what's your thoughts on Taker and where and how his induction should be handled? And who should induct him? That's another topic. We didn't even touch on that. Who should induct Taker, and do you like the way that they're going to present his induction?
No, I don't like the way they're going to present it.
Okay.
Okay, I think it should be. I think the Hall of Fame should be done the way it's been done in years past. Who do I think should induct him? Kane.
Oh. There was a top, 5 list of names that came out in both your suggestion of Vince and your suggestion of Kane. Kane was number one.
I would have said Percival Pringle III if he was still living.
Of course.
But he's no longer
well, what about
with
his
us.
son? Why not his son?
No.
No?
No. He's not. His son's not in the wrestling business.
For those who don't know who Chief was referring to as Percival, that, of course, was Paul Bearer, the legendary Paul Bearer.
Right.
Now, the third participant to get into the chamber match on the ladies' side is about to open up. And who is it? Dewdrop. Looks like she's going to be making her entrance now to join Nikki and Liv into the soiree. So, anyway.
But that's who I would say is Kane.
Is Kane?
Yes.
You got Vince?
I would most likely pick Kane, but Vince would be cool just because Vince never wants to be acknowledged on the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Or anything like that, but that's Vince's greatest creation.
And there's a close bond between the two of them.
Those two, and the bond between those two is...
I don't disagree with you at all, Matt.
I could see Kane, given both of them. Here's how you get both involved. I can see Kane doing the voiceover for the video package that they would probably use for him, and then have Vince come out and do the induction.
Could they enter? Let me throw this one. Could the Brothers of Destruction go into the Hall of Fame together?
Kane went in last year.
Okay, again,
but as a tag team.
Exactly.
Oh, I don't like how they do multiple people in the Hall of Fame.
Or do you just let Taker go in by himself now, and then let the Brothers of Destruction go in later?
Yeah, if you're ever going to do that, do it later, but there's
Give it
some
some
people
time.
that I don't think people should be multiple-time Hall of Famers. I never really understood that part, but
Well, it goes back to the
Each their
dollars.
own.
But
Huh?
it goes back to the dollars, right?
There's plenty of people not in that Hall of Fame that deserve to be that.
And
they
Owen
could put
Hart's
in.
name, Owen Hart's name came up by Shant earlier in the chat room, and I believe he should be in.
Hell yeah!
But there's too much politics with his wife, and now that they've got the thing going on over at AEW for Foundation,
she's not going to let that happen.
No, absolutely.
Unfortunately.
Hello, Jennifer from Hawaii. She's checking in the chat room. Thank you, Jennifer.
But I think it'll be the mayor of Knoxville that'll be inducted in.
I don't think you can go wrong either way.
No.
But Mankind, Mick Foley's name was on the list I saw. In terms of just opinions of who should or could, Mick Foley was a piece of history with him as well in a lot of ways, right?
I think he flew off a cage, didn't he?
Something like that. I think he did that.
Yeah, I believe so.
But then again, let's see. Keely23 says, I don't think a title has ever changed hands in Saudi Arabia, so this pay-per-view is probably a waste of time. Well, Keely, remember, first of all, the current women's chamber match is not for the title. The only other title that's up is in the men's chamber, I believe, right? The tag teams are not.
The tag team titles are on the line.
Well, if the
they are.
The Raw Women's title is on the line.
If the titles have never changed, Keely, let me ask you a question. Are you watching it? And
well, thus far, nothing, no title, nothing.
Well, when you know, like the main event is like Charlotte and Ronda at WrestleMania,
right?
And they started doing like, oh, Charlotte's defending the title against so and so. You're like, what's the point? You know she's gonna win.
Exactly.
Well, again, let's remember who is dictating the card here in Saudi Arabia for the Elimination Chamber.
But that's creative writing on the WWE.
But WWE does that crap every year.
No.
So.
I get that. I get that. But they are catering to the prince who wants certain people to appear. And it just so happens that they made Elimination Chamber the event to bring these people there as Saudi Arabia. The Horror Report says WWE is to rebrand. I saw this also.
Yeah, I did too.
Rebrand Saturday night's main event, bringing it back again for certain events. House shows in particular. On their events page, the April 23rd event in Montgomery, Alabama, and the April 30th event in Lakeland, Florida are being billed as Saturday night's main event. So I'm glad to see that coming back.
I wonder if it'll go back to the old platform of Saturday night main event, like the way they had it before.
Could be. The old days. Yeah. Like when I used to wait up to midnight to watch Saturday Night Wrestling.
When I watched it on the radio.
Right, exactly. The Rock is long overdue, but I think they're saving that with Mania. I could see him being inducted next year.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Chief,
girl.
Chief is reacting to what we just saw. Did we? Looks like we saw an elimination, so we'll leave it at that.
We're out of there.
So first woman has been eliminated, and we'll leave it at that for those who are not watching it yet. But there you go. Brandy just puts it out there in the Facebook chat room, but we won't say it. Brandy put it out there.
No.
What is with us and not saying names? I'd never understood that.
I'm just trying not to provide spoilers or people have it recorded and they haven't watched it.
Shit.
Okay. So you want to talk about it? Go ahead. It's okay. I'm just
whatever you guys want to do. I don't care.
Yes,
I don't see the point of not watching.
Yes, here comes your girl.
Hell yeah. Alexa Bliss is coming out.
Let's see what happens.
So then let's say it. Nikki was eliminated.
Oh,
because Brandy put it in there.
Right. So we've got 3 that are in right now. Alexa,
Rhea,
Liv Morgan.
Did we
and
know
Doudrop
is still there
over there?
Yeah,
she
hasn't come out yet.
No, she has. Doudrop is on the apron. There you see her.
Oh
there
yeah.
From whatever attack she got.
So the only one that's left is Bianca, huh?
Yep.
Bianca hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, she won that Raw match, the Gauntlet match, and she's the
And
last
I got to
person.
tell you, that was some damn bad camera shit right there, because she missed the shit out of those flippy flips. But what do I know about wrestling, folks?
Well, it's rust, right?
Is anybody in the chat room not watching Elimination Chamber?
I was going to say, yeah. Or if not in the chat room, but people watching or listening to us on the Go Live Vegas mobile app. By the way, we're late for our second break. So why don't we do that now? Because we know that the women's chamber match is not going to end during commercial. You're watching Elimination Chamber reaction show for Thoughts Count Anywhere. We'll be right back.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts Count Anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
Oh, what a great countdown.
Oh, what a great countdown. He's
here, music's on.
He's mocking me about the length of my commercial that he created, by the way. Chamber's going on. So Dewdrop was eliminated during our commercial break for those who...
Damn, are we back on air?
Yeah, we're back on. That's all right.
Hey, where was the countdown?
I know, exactly.
Non-existent.
What the hell?
You got it mixed up with the Elimination Chamber countdown.
Have another donut.
So everybody's in. Everybody's out of the pods. We are now down to Rhea Ripley, Bianca, Liv, and Alexa. And it looks like Bianca and Ripley are forming a little alliance right now. Bianca had Alexa. Who was it? No, she had who did she have up? She had Liv Morgan up, and she held her with one hand at one point before bringing her back. I thought she was going to eat some metal, but she dropped her back over the rope there. Shant says, and take this for what it's worth, not watching, nor do I have a subscription. I cut the cock. Per Shant. Desert. We'll just leave it at that. So,
good old Desert Shark.
Exactly. All right. Oh, now the alliance is off. Now Bianca and Ripley are going at it. Holy cow! Tell you what, you got two strong women there in that ring right now.
If you don't want to fully cut the cock, you can just get the circumcision version and watch commercials between matches.
There you go. Exactly. You can do that.
Okay.
All right.
Like $1.
Okay, so the Elimination Chamber, we have the women's match going on right now. And, oh, my goodness, Alexa taking out Liv Morgan with a sweet move there. All right, let's go to some other stuff here. So we were talking about The Undertaker. Well-deserved.
Yes.
Should be on a bigger stage. We'll
Yes.
see. But that doesn't mean things aren't going to change. Right now, they're talking for it to be on SmackDown. They always reserve the right to possibly still move it to AT&T.
That's what I said to you.
Yep.
You know, it's Vince's money, and if Vince wants to spend it, he'll do the retirement ceremony at AT&T.
Exactly. Shant says, because of what I read at his post, the beep contest goes to him. Why is the chamber door open? Did we miss somebody getting eliminated?
I don't know.
Liv Morgan just got eliminated.
Oh, she did. Okay, so that's why it's open.
Liv got eliminated? Okay.
Looks like somebody also lost a weave that the referee just threw out of the ring.
Oh, look out there.
So we're down to Bianca, Alexa, and Rhea Ripley. Oh, boy. Bianca has Ripley. That's a power move to do to that young lady. Jeez Louise.
You want to give the odds?
On what?
Who's going to win it?
Oh, well,
Alexa or Bianca.
Right now we're down to the final two.
Come on, Alexa.
Just
Come on,
got eliminated
Alexa.
by Bianca. Now we're down to Bianca and Alexa Bliss.
So here's the scenario. Does Bianca win because of the 28-second match, or does...
Oh, Canadian Destroyer for the pin cover for... Oh, that was a great move.
Or does Alexa win because she just came back and needs...
I think Alexa needs to
push.
No, I think Alexa... I don't think she needs a push. This match, I think, for her will serve for her return. She'll have a good showing. But I think there has to be some rectification, if that's a word. Rectification. I just made my own word.
You're the school teacher.
No, but I teach elementary kids math. What do I know about words?
Okay.
But I think there has to be some return between Bianca and Becky. There has to be a receipt match for them.
Didn't she already get a rematch?
No.
Not a traditional
Come on, man.
match.
Not a doom match.
Oh my goodness.
Shit.
Holy cow. Bianca's literally ragdolling.
Bianca, chill.
We can say whatever we want. He's not here, so he won't beep us out right now.
Fuck that. Absolutely not. But Bianca basically just ragdolled Alexa between the rope and the chamber. Let's just leave it at that. So this match is, not really, because both of these two ladies is who we selected during our predictions, right? So we're not surprised at this result.
And you know
Missed
what?
the frog splash.
Was Bianca like the fifth horsewoman? Because she wins like everything now.
Could be. Oh, look at that little block of a move there by Bianca.
You got to admit one thing, man.
What's that?
She's a hell of a wrestler.
Oh, and she's got strength and power. Not taking
yeah.
that away from anybody.
She's like the sole survivor at Elimination Chamber. She won Royal Rumble. She's in the main event of WrestleMania.
Yep.
I mean, do you think, is there any, and I mean this seriously, is there any,
wow.
Is there any other female?
Did you see the way she blocked that move?
She must have watched a Damian Drake match.
Is there any other female in WWE as strong as her?
As
Rhea Ripley?
Yeah, I would give Rhea props for strength, but she doesn't get as many opportunities to show the strength like Bianca does.
No. What the only other one I really thought of,
Raquel Gonzalez.
That's the other one I thought about was Raquel. Yep.
Well, these two competitors down to the final two are really putting on a showing here. Oh, my goodness.
That was a slammy.
For sure. Oh, well, what are we setting up for? Old Alexa setting her up? Nope. Oh, a huge right. Holy shit.
She's already crying. She's going to win. Oh, I wanted Saudi Arabia. Man.
There you go.
Great.
Well, we called that one. Our prediction came through on that one. And
I hope, just to mess with everybody, Becky retains the belt in 30 seconds at WrestleMania.
Shen says that Matt is crying inside.
I'm crying outside, man.
It's just not fair. But I'll tell you what, from what we just visually saw without hearing any of the audio, it looked like that this was one heck of a match.
It looked very good. So
Jennifer McCord, our friend out in Hawaii, who's not really a wrestling fan, but she enjoys our stupid silliness on our show. She says those female wrestlers have pretty names. There you go. So listen, let me tell you, when you go to a horse track and you don't know who to bet, and you turn to, I've done this. I turn to my wife. She goes by name. I think this horse's name is really, really. Let's bet on this one. Or if you don't know who to bet in football, what do they always look at? They look at the men's asses in their football pants. I
saw some girl won like one of the station casinos, like bet on every game in the season. She missed like one game, and she said she bet off who had the nicer asses.
Well, okay then.
I'm sorry. Shan wants me to ask our producer if he's had his finger in his donut yet.
He's already got the cream on his nose.
Brandy says, you know what, and I agree with this from what we saw.
Talk to me, Brandy.
Philip Campbell says he thinks Liv Morgan should have won this match, but Brandy says that this was a pretty quick match for a chamber match.
It was only, like 15 minutes, maybe?
Okay. All right.
Did it? I don't know. Did it? Well, it was
maybe
being introduced before we went to our last break, wasn't it? Or it was underway when we went to break, but it was only underway for a minute or two.
It was on during the Chiefs rant.
They were doing the intros during the Chiefs rant, not the actual match.
Yes.
So the match I would give it, actual match was probably about 15 minutes. It'll be interesting to see the times posted.
Yeah.
Like WWE usually does. All right. So we're almost, well, guess what? We're at the top of hour number 2 already. Hour number 1 is in the book. So let's step aside for our top of the hour transition. You guys okay with that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's also commercial break at the chamber, so that helps us as well. We haven't even barely touched.
We got some stuff we do need to talk about.
Yes, for sure. All right, you're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere, our Elimination Chamber edition. Hour number 1 is in the books. When we come back on the other side of the break, hour number 2 will begin. We'll be back right after this.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts Count Anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. the Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
All righty, hour number 2 is underway. Elimination Chamber is off to I think a pretty good start with what we've seen so far. Not really any surprises between the first couple of matches that we've seen already. 702-329-6947.
The whole show is going to be pretty predictable.
I think so. You're right. Press the number 1 to join us in the conversation. If you're outside the United States, 1-855-502-4321. Press the number 1 as well. Great comments coming in through the Twitter feed. We thank you so much for sharing your thoughts as you're watching the Chamber and listening to us as well. We greatly appreciate that. Should we say that TCA, how can we mix in like 2 belts? TCA 2 what? You know what I'm saying? What's that? What'd you whoops?
You don't know.
Oh, he put something up there. Lexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, and Queen Zelina fan pages. Was that from Facebook or was that Twitter? Brandy likes cake. She's reacting to the comment I made about picking football teams based on how the players look in their football uniform.
Yeah. Hey, I want to shout out, seriously.
Go ahead. Go for it.
All right. Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae welcome son Quill, which Johnny says he named after Peter Quill from Guardians of the Galaxy. Chiefs just wants to give a shout out. I don't know anything about Guardians of the Galaxy or anything like that. Nor do
It'll be on Turner Classic Movies in like 30 years.
Well, when it's on the radio, I'll watch it. Until then, I don't care about it. But anyway, congratulations to Johnny and Candace and Little Quill. You're coming up in the tough world, son. Make the best of it.
By the way, if you're in and around by the Boulevard Mall today, Scott Hosey is over there. Sports Card, Toys, and Collectibles show today, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. It's free admission. There are vendors out there.
3528 South Maryland Parkway.
There you go. So admission is free today and tomorrow. Get out there. As the Chamber is now back, we're getting set now for the SmackDown, right? The SmackDown title, Charlotte Flair. I see the blue on her. Blue against
Charlotte
the red.
and Sonya and Ronda and...
Oh, this is a tag team.
Naomi.
That's right. I forgot. This is a tag team match. That was signed last night.
And Ronda has to wrestle with one arm tied behind her back.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I just want to.
That's an interesting stipulation.
I just want to see her knock the shit out of Sonya Deville. Okay.
Now, is that because Sonya's wrestling with one arm? Because I saw she had a sling on?
Yeah.
Big deal.
That's
now,
okay.
The question will be is what arm of...
there ain't nothing wrong with Sonya's arm. It's a work.
Of course. So Ronda, though, what arm are they going to have tied behind her back? Her power hand obviously was her right.
Watch Sonya bring her arm out of the sling.
Of course. Well,
during the match.
Sonya now is being introduced as we speak, and it looks like she does have, dressed in her all black, yeah, the left arm is in a sling as we speak. Her jacket is off, so we now know she's a wrestler. She's a competitor today. She's not in an authoritative figure.
Yeah. So anyway, the other thing I want to talk about is MJF versus CM Punk in a dog collar match set for Revolution. They did a shout out the other night to Mr. Roddy Piper and Greg Valentine in their dog collar match in 1983 right? At Flair for the Gold in Charlotte, North Carolina.
The year I was born.
And I was there in living color watching it as it happened. And Mr. Piper...
We're talking about the wrestling, not the day you were born, by the way.
Mr. Piper almost lost his ear that night. Mm-hmm. Greg almost ripped it totally off. And it was... There was some blood thrown. So.
And it was a great promo by CM Punk. Sat down in the ring, the crisscross applesauce position.
Yep.
Great promo. MJF came out.
He didn't know he didn't know what to say.
Exactly.
No. So it's going to that will be a match in AEW. You're going to get my money to watch the pay-per-view because of that match right there. It's going to be old school wrestling.
Want to send out get well wishes to Devon Dudley. Yep. Saw pictures that came up across social media that he had spinal surgery, and and he's been told he literally can no longer. Now again, he can no longer wrestle, but we've seen wrestlers with everything from neck injuries and spinal injuries get back in the ring years later. But he has not been active in the ring for a handful of years anyway. Yeah. But Devon.
And if you stop and think about it, we actually saw a wrestler wrestle with one leg.
We did, yes. The amputee. Yes, absolutely.
Zach
Allen. That's right. That's right. So no more tables. No more getting the tables for Devon.
No, unfortunately.
Yeah. So now being introduced, Naomi's coming down. She's feeling the glow. She's now in the ring. Brandy says with Ronda, one hand tied to her back, maybe she will leave her gear alone.
She can't wear the shorts, sister.
Yeah, but she was in.
She's got her karate stuff on.
Yeah, she's got her karate gear on, coming out in the karate jacket and the black belt.
Yeah.
What do they call the uniforms?
A gi.
It's a gi. It's judo. That's what she was in.
But I'm very interested. She's got her black belt on, but I want to see how many stripes are on that belt to see what degree she is. That's interesting. But it's all good.
No,
it ain't dead air.
That's the shortest I've seen Naomi's hair. Did you see how short cropped it was with the beads in?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Is she going to do a bumper bump today, you think?
Oh, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's fully dressed, so why not, right? So, Matt, pick a couple of topics that you want to hit on.
For sure. Usually the 24/7 stuff is usually pretty dumb, and I don't follow it too much. But on Monday Night Raw, Reggie took Dana Brooke out for a Valentine's date, and she friend-zoned him, and he immediately pinned her for the title, which I thought was hilarious.
Is it time they shelved the 24/7?
Yes.
Who was sitting behind them at the other table? They were stalking them. Shit, I can't think of
Tamina, R-Truth.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
So who's the referee that came out? Did they have a ref? Was he the waiter or something? I mean,
they just had a referee just pop up out of somewhere.
Okay.
Fully dressed referee.
Because sometimes the referee is, incognito in a costume before something happens. So I was just curious.
Yeah.
So to me, the 24/7, I realize it gives people airtime that normally that probably should be getting it in the traditional sense, but now, the 24/7 belt has just been relegated to something that is just obviously a joke. I mean, R-Truth made it funny. He put the 24/7 belt on the map because of the way he handled it and whatnot. And it was his staple, and it kind of made him funny. What is he, like the 47-time 24/7 Route 51 or whatever it is?
I-15 North 7-Eleven.
Title holder. But, all right, so here we go. So as we're watching, Ronda's right arm is being put in the rope and will be tied. That was my question, which makes sense because her right arm is obviously her dominant and power arm. But referee is tying her right hand behind her, which I'm sure at some point in the match, that right arm will be freed, just like Sonya's left chicken wing in the sling will be set free, so to speak. But
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure at one time or another that arm. So we got Sonya's left arm in a sling, Ronda's right arm.
Fingers going in the donut.
Fingers going in the donut for our producer.
Oh, and he took the damn donut I wanted. You ain't getting no money.
Oh, you get
No, you're fine. I don't.
Yeah, he'll sell it to you for 100 and whatever. sell for. Oh, there we go. The sling is off.
See, I told you.
Oh, what a
I told you it was a
What
work.
a surprise! Look at that. Left arm is good.
Sonya,
I would still bet on
Sonya,
Ronda.
I still got all my paycheck on Ronda.
Sonya, you're going to get your ass kicked, woman. I hate to say it
That's
to
right,
you.
because you know what? She's got feet, and those feet can kick as well. So, all right. Let's see. Yeah, Brandy says, with Ronda's hand tied behind her back, maybe she will leave her gear alone. Well, she's got her gi on, so, right now they're going at it, in the match there. So, all right.
Here's an interesting.
Go ahead, let's pick another topic.
Interesting one. Josh Alexander's Impact contract expired, as well as his work visa, so it might be a while before we see the walking weapon back in the States wrestling. He posted a picture on IG like he got a real job again. We've talked, at least I have, I've talked to a few of the wrestlers around the community, when they come in town to wrestle. A lot of them are having trouble getting their work visas and things like that to go out of country or to come in country to wrestle right now.
Sure.
So I guess you stay where you're at, and hopefully you can get everything renewed. It's a shame Josh had to go back up to, I guess he went back to Canada.
Yeah.
I hope he can get his visa quickly, and we see him again on the big stage. So
Will he sign back with Impact? Is this a partial work? Now you don't know anymore. Is he done with Impact? Will he show up at AEW? Will he come back to WWE? Obviously, all rhetorical questions for the moment.
Will he go to Sin?
I
think,
in my opinion, he's not. I don't know if he's yet ready for Sin, because when you look at all the other names involved, would you think Josh? And Josh is a great competitor. We interviewed him here on the show a couple of months back. He held the title for all of 30 seconds before Moose cashed in his trophy. But is he of a level of performer right now that would put him on the same? I don't want to say qualified, but put him on the same level of the guys at Control Your Narrative?
Yeah,
I think so.
As an independent contractor?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. And you know what? I think people are going to be surprised with the product that's going to come out of Sin.
Okay.
I really, really do. I think there's going to, if you stop and think about it, folks, how many independent contract wrestlers are there just in this country? I met a guy last night, by the name of Mike Rain. He's out of Morgan City, Louisiana.
Okay.
Didn't know much about him, but he was nice enough after the show. I got to talk to him for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
He gave me his wrestling card. I flipped it over. 2-time NWA champion. 2-time junior lightweight NWA champion. Multiple-time tag team champion in the NWA. And, he's younger than me. I'll put it that way. I won't put his age out there. He is younger than me.
Okay.
But he can still go. He had a good match against Hammerstone last night, and I think there's enough quality wrestlers out there, and maybe. We don't know what the storylines or the scenarios are going to be, but maybe they're going to bring in some of the Josh Alexanders and Will Morrissey's and people like that aren't up here right now.
Well, Morrissey has a chance to get up there because he's going against Moose for the title.
Exactly, but have the chance to get
prominent.
Exactly.
Gotcha. That's a good point.
They have to bring some people up if they're starting a promotion. You can't have every main event person. You gotta build
some
people.
jobbers.
I'd like to see some of the tag teams down. Unfortunately, they're under contract at NXT, but I'd like to see a couple of the tag teams out of NXT go elsewhere.
Yeah.
And you stop to think about it. Look at ROH. Hey, Briscoe brothers are free agents. Everybody's saying, oh, they're going to AEW. They're going to, you know what? They ain't necessarily going to AEW.
Right.
Okay, and I don't think they're going to go to AEW.
A gentleman on Twitter named Cody, ironically, puts up, sources say that Impact Wrestling has reportedly reached out to Cody Rhodes, offering a massive contract. Sources say plans include Rhodes winning the Impact Championship in the future. More to come. Who are these sources? Who's anonymous? You know what I'm saying? In Fiddler on the Roof, in that show, in that movie, was always as the good book says. And I've watched it numerous times, and being Jewish, I always ask, which book is he referring to? Sources, all that stuff. Who knows? But we'll see what happens. Time will tell what's going to happen with Cody and the rest of the wrestling scene. Matt, let's grab a topic there.
Speaking of NWA, Matt Cardona is now your NWA World Champion.
What does he have, 5 belts now?
I think he's
just
the
posted a
Impact
picture,
Digital
right?
Media Champion. He's the Internet Champion.
NWA. GCW still? No.
I think he's like the AIW or IAW Champion. And a couple other ones. I like his new shirt he came out with. He said the Fed was my developmental.
That's good. I'm happy for him because we know his history in WWE. We know he was underutilized. I think with all the different promotions that he's working in now, almost each one he's gone to, Matt Cardona's character has been a little different at each one.
Yeah.
Right? Where with Impact, he's on the face side, but he's going to NWA. He pretty much told them to flip off, and GCW. I'm really happy that he's getting these opportunities.
Yeah, me too.
And becoming a name. He is becoming now, if he isn't already, that name that is very rare. All you have to do is say Cardona. People know who he is.
Yeah, he's like the king of the indies now.
Yeah, I think that's a great title for him, by the way. Chief?
I don't have a comment.
Oh, I thought you were about that.
No,
I
I
you took a break. The NWA champions on the internet.
I have another comment though. Brandy put out Toa Leona, one of our local wrestlers out here, had twins yesterday. So
congratulations.
Congratulations and shout out to you. I think sometimes when you see a wrestler, wearing 5 belts, I think it takes away the credibility of the companies that he's representing. I could see 1 or 2 belts.
Okay.
Like the NWA belt, definitely. And maybe 1 other one. But how many, in reality, how many of them really
matter?
Exactly. Thank you for a better word. How many of them matter?
But the territory guy doesn't want somebody going around representing their territories. That's what the independents are, territory.
I hear what you're saying, but 5 belts? Come on, man.
So if Ric Flair back in the day was a champion of like 5 different promotions.
He couldn't even win a belt on WWE.
It was his developmental. He needed
bullshit. Beep. You're slow. Thank you.
So if Ric Flair back in the day went to like 5 different developmentals and won the championships.
We're not talking about Ric Flair. We're talking about Matt Cardona. And I'm saying
the same situation. If he was to go to 5 different promotions.
He couldn't win a belt in the WWE. Now
he's the Intercontinental U.S. champion.
Coming down. What's the one he's got at Impact? The what?
Digital media.
Who the hell cares about the digital media?
Oh, it's no different than when he was what was the title?
I mean, come on.
Internet champ or whatever it was, social media champ.
I mean, I know what they're doing. I understand it, but not 5 belts. And you know what? With him being the NWA champion now, he's got to have some credibility.
He has a lot of credibility.
Or the 10 pounds of gold don't mean nothing to him.
The women's tag match is officially over.
I don't think, I don't know who won.
Well, I do. You want me to tell you?
The ones that are in the ring?
Probably.
Oh, okay.
The one-armed bandit actually got the armbar on Sonya.
Should have broke her arm.
Charlotte wasn't going to take the pin.
Oh, no.
And you couldn't have Rousey take the pin. But what I hope here is it does something for Naomi.
Yeah.
But getting back to it, isn't he the guy that messed your turnbuckle pad up?
Yeah, but he's cool.
Okay,
did I miss that story?
I just wanted to throw that out there to,
I missed
calm
the
you
story?
down a little bit. No, I'm being serious now, Matt. I think, in all respect, I think Mr. Cardona carrying the 10 pounds of gold now.
It'll make NWA relevant.
Yeah, and I think Mr. Cornette's bringing it along slowly. And he's doing it the right way.
Cornette?
Yeah, yeah.
You don't have anything to do with it.
Oh, yeah, he does. I'll tell you about it later. Anyway, I think bringing it along and putting the belt on Cardona, I think that's a smart move because he is relevant in the indies. But I think some of the belts that he has now, he needs to drop and concentrate on the bigger belts that'll lead him to a larger career and help him out. So that's just my aspect on it.
With that, we're going to get helped out by having our sponsors paying bills. We're going to step aside for our first break. Probably the least important match on the Chamber card is coming up next, and that's McIntyre taking on Happy Moss. So if you have to go to the bathroom or do something else, just take us with you.
Your popcorn.
Use the Go Live Vegas mobile app and take us with you if you need to do something while this match will be on. Anyway, we're stepping aside for our break. Be right back.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit, all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
All right, welcome back. Thoughts Count Anywhere, the Elimination Chamber reaction show.
Sorry.
No.
We were discussing our strategy.
For?
We ain't telling you yet.
Oh, shit. 702-329-6947. Good night, Brandy. Or how do you say good night when it's
good
the middle
morning,
of the morning?
good night, and whatever.
Good morning, good night, and Godspeed. Whatever.
Sleep tight, sister.
All right. So we want to thank you all for 702-329-6947, 1-855-502-4321.
Boom.
In either case, press the number 1 and give us a call. Why?
Because the chief says so.
There you go. All right.
Desert Shark, call in, please. I want to talk to you. But if you don't call in, have a safe trip.
MSC on Twitter
fun.
says, what's more dangerous than wrestling CM Punk in Chicago? Well, wrestling CM Punk in a dog collar match in Chicago. Is that match in Chicago?
No, it's in Florida.
It's in Florida? Well,
I think it's in Orlando.
There you have
Isn't
it.
it? I think it's going to be at Daly's place, isn't it?
No, it's in Orlando.
Orlando? Oh, okay.
All right. So while we were on break, they showed the always popular video recap vignettes of the Madcap Moss, Baron Corbin, and Drew McIntyre angle. Let's see. Bill Whitlingham. Are you really enjoying wrestling if you aren't using a stopwatch to time the matches?
I don't think I've ever done that in my life.
Well, usually WWE also posts a couple of days afterwards how long certain matches are.
If I don't like the match, I just get up and go.
It's
in
more
the
like
kitchen
if you're really timing them, are you actually enjoying them?
There you go. If you're busy watching the clock.
Yeah.
So
interesting
point.
I just get up and go in the kitchen and get a snack and don't watch the match.
You just turn the radio off.
Yeah. And I do that a lot.
Just want to let all of our folks know, our sponsors know, we're going to go straight to the top. That break you just had, we're going to just end our breaks there. We're going to go straight to the top without commercial break for the rest of the show. Okay, with that, next topic, Matt, let's grab one. Oh, the bell is back working.
Deonna Purrazzo has an open challenge at No Surrender tonight for either her Ring of Honor women's title or the AAA Reina title.
Oh, we have a call calling in.
Just want to what the guaranteed odds of Taya Valkyrie coming out at No Surrender is.
Chief, this gentleman on the phone has taken you up on your challenge. Please welcome to the show on the phone, Mr. Desert Shark. Good morning, Shark. Shark. Dude.
Is he busy attacking people in Australia again?
I guess so. All right, we must be having some phone problems. So, unfortunately, Shark, sorry we couldn't hear you. There you go. Anyway, keep going with what you're saying about tonight's show.
When Deonna Purrazzo had an open challenge, I'm almost positive Taya Valkyrie's coming out at No Surrender. Hopefully Impact Wrestling comes back to Vegas soon.
Didn't I... Johnny's going to...
Shark, are you there?
Is this thing working?
Well, now it is.
It is now, yes, sir.
Oh, we're live, pal.
We are. What's going on, dude?
Chief summoned me here, so ask and you shall receive.
Hey, what's up, brother? I just wanted to check in, see how you're doing today. Are you getting the laundry done and getting packed up ready for Florida, sir?
Laundry is getting done right now. I still need to get started on packing. I'm a little nervous because my friend who's in Florida right now tried to get her rental car last night, and the rental car place ran out of rental cars. So I'm getting a little nervous right now.
It's early for spring break down there. Why would they not have rental cars available?
I have no idea.
Jeez, what are you going to Florida for? You going on vacation?
Vacation, and like I said before, my friend is down there, and she is getting married.
Ah, there you
go. Maybe take in a wrestling session or two while you're down there, if you get a chance.
Wink, wink. I am going to Orlando. Wink, wink.
Well, I hope the hell you go over to
the Performance Center,
NXT.
We'll see what happens. Wink, wink. You may see a shark there.
How long are you going to be down there?
A land shark attack?
I'll be there until Thursday. I'll be back in time for Level Up.
Okay, listen.
Nice.
When we get off the air, I'm going to send a message to somebody I know, and if they're down there, I'll tell them that you're in the area, maybe in
pronouns, pal.
Yeah, you can
hook up and meet.
Yeah.
Twitter message came in while you guys were chatting there that this individual, I don't recall the Twitter handle, says that the number one leader for worst entrance is Madcap Moss. He just took over based on whatever. So
well, when I enjoyed wrestling, back in the day on the radio,
yes,
Madcap Moss would have been called a jobber.
There you go.
And
So
I'll leave it at that.
So, Shark, any comments on Chamber so far? Have you been watching it? No, you cut the cock earlier, so I presume you're listening to us talking about it.
I am listening. I'm watching technically, but I am listening. Like I said before, I could really care less about WWE and what I said earlier that AEW is making promising content. So WWE has a lot to do in order to take my money.
Oh, there you go.
In the meantime, AEW, you can take my money.
Hey, we saw a couple good wrestlers last night, my friend, on the independent scene.
Oh, yes, we did. We did, especially from Best of the West.
Yes. And Mr. Rain, who wrestled Hammerstone last night out of Morgan City, Louisiana. Good wrestler. Enjoyed it.
He is.
All right, Shark, anything else, sir?
No, sir. You guys have a great morning.
Have a safe trip, man.
Travel safe. So I did not realize, or I forgot, that the McIntyre Madcap Moss match.
Something?
I did.
Oh no!
Is a no DQ false count anywhere match. Was what this is turning into right now is a 2-on-1 handicap match all over the place.
Of course.
Yep.
I did not. I forgot that. So if
it doesn't involve a camel at the end, they did it wrong.
You mean Joe? Hey, who's the female ref?
That's the one that's been reffing all a while now. She came up from NXT a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I don't recall her name, but yeah, she was one of the first female refs to come up to the main roster, if not the first one.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm impressed.
Yeah. But you notice she's reffing this match and not the other matches.
Yes.
So, but that's okay. Hey, she's in Saudi Arabia doing something she probably never thought she'd be doing, reffing a match in Saudi Arabia on a pay-per-view like this. Although she's done pay-per-view matches. Okay, let's go back. Let's pick another topic. What else you got there, Matt? Chief, either one of you. Rachel Ellering left Impact Wrestling. Thought that was an interesting move. We saw her here at the end of last year when we attended the Impact shows.
Yeah.
So she's now out there, which also reminds me, I did meet her father, Paul, at Cauliflower Alley Club convention late last year. I do have to arrange to get him scheduled to come on the show. He has agreed to do a spot with us if we can make it happen.
Oh, nice.
So
Is this really going to happen on AEW? The Hardy Boys to face Cardona and Myers in March?
Oh, that's an independent date there.
Okay.
Not in AEW, but
Okay.
I think it's like big time wrestling.
Okay. Hey, that's cool.
Tony Khan said that he is working on something massive and will be a big deal in pro wrestling. What could it be?
Signing Bray Wyatt, hopefully.
Okay. What do you think? I mean, how much more could he do for crying out loud? He's got just about everybody else. I mean, other than like the Bray Wyatts of the world.
Signing the Briscoe brothers?
Is that massive?
No.
Okay. And I'm just using the words that were in his comments.
And that's fine. I'm just throwing it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Who could they bring? Who could they bring over from Japan that would be huge?
Okada.
Is that massive?
Yeah.
For hardcore wrestling fans, yes. For
Okay.
the average fan, no.
Okay. So who is Impact trying to promote to? Hardcore or the average fan? And I
They're
asked
trying
him,
to both.
think so?
Yeah.
I think that's why they signed the Stings and
Moxley's hardcore when he wants to be.
Mm-hmm. When he wants to be, but I don't think people look at him as like what's his name, Nick Cage from GCW.
They haven't
Celebrity.
had the opportunity like well, I'll put it this way, that I've had to see him wrestle hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
And who did he wrestle hardcore against? Killer Cross.
Yeah.
I didn't mean hardcore
here
like
in
that.
Vegas.
I meant hardcore like
Fans.
hardcore wrestling fans and know like everybody in every promotion compared to like the average wrestling fan that turns it on like a Monday or a Friday.
Oh, you mean like me when I watch it on the radio? Okay.
They just showed.
I'm
sorry. They just showed a replay during this match where Drew was trying to whip Madcap over his back, and he literally landed on his head flush. How he didn't break his neck right there, I have no idea. But the ref jumped in real quickly to make sure he was okay, which obviously he is because the match is going on. But they just showed that replay. Let me just say, holy shit, because he landed flush.
Oh,
the
wow.
move like that is what put Steve Austin out of commission with his broken neck.
Well, it looks like he's fine.
Till the adrenaline wears off. And
yeah,
then,
exactly.
Then we'll see.
This would be the match right here, in all honesty,
Mm-hmm.
that I would get up and go to the kitchen. And,
Yeah, exactly.
And get my drink and popcorn or
Well,
whatever.
Sabrina's lazy eye, #FreeAllIn on Twitter says, who the fuck, and I'm doing that just to get ahead in the competition, is Madcap Moss? Why is he wrestling last year's champ in Saudi Arabia? Because, well, first of all, there's an ongoing storyline between the three of these guys over the last month and a half that actually sort of culminated at the last pay-per-view when they, when Drew had to be written off TV due to his neck injury.
Correct.
But this is I think going to be supposed to be the payoff match, I would think, right?
Hey, Sabrina,
I think the payoff match is going to be Drew versus Corbin at WrestleMania.
But I don't disagree with you, Sabrina, at all.
GK commented on Twitter, God damn, how is Moss still wrestling? Thank God he didn't break his neck. So they're just referring to the same clip and the same move that I just saw on replay. He's going to have a few bells ringing in his head.
He may have a headache.
Yeah, a little bit. Hope they have extra strength Tylenol out in Saudi Arabia. So, all right, next topic. Chief, pick one over there.
Oh, shit.
AEW expected to sign 3 more ex-WWE stars soon. Chief, who do you think they could be? Who's left?
Morrison.
Is he wrestling Lucha though? Or Impact?
That's independent.
How about Impact? I thought he showed up somewhere. I could be wrong.
I haven't seen him anywhere.
I haven't either. And I don't know. I don't think he would go back to Impact. I think might be him, might be Taya, and the Briscoes.
Okay.
I think maybe that control your narrative thing might have a thing to do with like AEW, and it could be Strowman, Bray Wyatt, and Killer Cross.
For AEW.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
As a faction.
Yeah. I think they come out with Cody at Revolution, honestly.
That's a possibility. You know, and you make a good point. Could everything that Cody's doing be a work?
I think it is.
And Cody comes out with a new faction at AEW?
I think he comes out of Revolution with like those 3 former WWE people.
That would be a hell of that. Now, see, that would be a hell of a scoop if that happened. That would be awesome.
I still can't see Cody leaving an executive vice president job and everything else he has to be second fiddle to Roman Reigns in WWE.
You know, the question is, and you know, how much do you trust dirt sheets?
Not at all.
The one thing that I've seen about Cody leaving is he lost creative control of his type of matches. Okay, that supposedly is why he left WWE when he did, because he couldn't have control of his matches, creative control of his matches in the WWE.
He was done with the Stardust character, and he wanted to get out of it, and they wouldn't let him, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because he was told what he had to do. Okay. And we talked about that earlier. But my thing is that why he really left AEW? Is because he didn't have creative control of his matches anymore.
I think he had like creative control of the whole company at one point. But Tony Khan has gone up higher and higher, and now he pretty much does like all the creative writing.
Is Tony Khan becoming the Vince McMahon of AEW?
He is, but not really, because Tony Khan will just be like, here's the storylines, get these points across, write your own promos.
Yeah, he's definitely...
It's not like WWE where they're like, here's your script, say this word for word.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot more freedom in terms of the promos, but I'm more concerned about the financial side of AEW, because right now, with everybody they're signing, and they're talking about budgets and things that Tony's trying to work under, there's no reason that they're not. I think we talked about it last week. Financially, they're going to get backed into a corner with all these contracts.
Yeah.
Some are expiring, so some of them will be off the books relatively easy. But apparently, they gave some great extensions to Jericho, and when they signed Bryan Danielson, and Adam Page.
Adam Cole.
Adam Cole. He didn't want to extend Cody's contract, according to reports, for whatever that's worth. None of them are written by Abraham Lincoln.
However. I don't believe any of him returning to WWE stuff until I see him physically on the Peacock.
Here's the one question I want to ask you. I don't know how long AEW contracts are. Are they a year? Are they 2 years?
I think they've started out as 2 years, and they have like
6 months.
AEW?
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think they pretty much all started at 2 years, which is why all these contracts are starting to come up at the same time now.
So the question is, maybe has Tony Khan changed his thinking about contract lengths and maybe cut them down to a year to where there's a little less money involved than a longer-term contract?
I'm sure his contracts are like WWE's, though, where you can release somebody at any point if they had to.
And the other point I want to throw out is supposedly Cody and his wife left AEW. I can't believe, and this is my opinion, that if Cody really left, I can't believe Dustin isn't leaving.
They had a follow-up conversation about that he has no plans on leaving because he's been very instrumental in the development of the women wrestlers out there. He's been involved in the ladies' side.
So my thought is, if Dustin's not leaving, I don't believe Cody's leaving.
That's a possibility. So are we saying here that collectively we think that all of this with Cody is nothing but a work?
I think
hands
it's a work.
down.
I think it is. And I agree with Matt. I think there's going to be a faction come back, and it's going to go after Adam Cole,
Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish,
and the brothers.
Because there was an interesting comment that was said, and I don't remember who said it, but sometimes you need a great heel to take down a company, so to speak, as the authoritative. Look what we saw in the 80s, right? Stone Cold was anti-authority, right? Maybe this is something that, as if it is part of a work, that Cody will come back, because he's declared publicly he has no desire or intention to ever become a heel. However, we're seeing now the possible legwork that may not be true. If this is a work, and if he's kind of going to come back to AEW, at this point he can only come back as a heel with what he's done, in my opinion.
As much as everyone says like AEW is WCW light, this is going to be their version of the NWO.
Could you imagine Cody coming back with Bray Wyatt, EC3, Braun Strowman, and Killer Cross? That's a hell of a...
Shut up and take my money.
That's a hell
really.
That's a hell of a faction right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now on the flip side, if that doesn't happen, the four names I just mentioned, along with Cody, who's, we don't know if he signed WWE, but that would be a hell of a faction for Sin.
Hell yeah.
That's five huge names right there.
Absolutely.
That is on the independent circuit right now.
Absolutely. And the amazing thing is you have a guy like Adam Shearer, i.e. Braun Strowman, who hasn't signed with anybody yet.
Nope.
We know about 5-6 months ago when we were at the Impact shows, we were all hoping Braun would be stepping down the aisle because of what we read or led to believe with some of the sheets that Braun Strowman, Titan, will be making an appearance with Impact, and that never materialized, at least as of yet.
You could bring Johnny Morrison into that fold. You could bring Taya into that fold. You could bring Hammerstone into that fold. they're huge names. Mil Muertes. Oh shit! What the hell's his name?
Oh, we got a 2-for-1 out of that one.
Jacob Fatu.
Okay.
I mean, they're huge names that are on.
I thought you were gonna say Ric Flair.
Well, you could bring him in as a manager. You know, the Von Erich boys. That's some huge names. The Briscoe brothers.
Sure.
They're not signed. They're huge names just to start up a company.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Shane McMahon.
No, fuck no. No.
The next match that's getting set up here at the Elimination Chamber is Becky Lynch and Lita for the women's title on Raw.
Becky Lynch and Lita.
Lita's already in the ring. Becky's getting ready to come down. There she is. She's at the top
Big
of the ramp.
time. Beck's in the house.
So
That's right.
So Bianca Belair gets to choose who she wants to wrestle, correct?
Mm-hmm.
No, she faces Becky Lynch.
Well, she could.
Ronda got to pick who she wanted because she won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, because Bianca was on the Raw.
Bianca won the Elimination Chamber.
Right.
The winner got to face Becky Lynch.
At WrestleMania.
That was a number one contender match.
At WrestleMania, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, who the hell's going to wrestle Charlotte?
Ronda.
Okay. All right.
Shen puts out there
My 3/4 Halfheimer's kicked in.
Adam
fellas. I'm
Shearer is
sorry.
charging an arm and a leg for appearances to indie shows, and he's also charging the indies to have EC3 on the show as well.
Correct. You are absolutely right, brother.
So.
Absolutely.
Interesting. Carlos, you said in the chat room that Cody is you don't think Cody's coming back after the crap people have said about Brandy. You're talking about AEW specifically, that he's not going to be coming back to AEW because her again, according to reports, backstage anonymous people, nobody liked her at AEW. She had a lot of heat with AEW.
That's what a lot of the sources were saying, but everyone in AEW was like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
And everyone came to her defense.
Right.
You know what part of it is, though? Storylines. That's what part of it is.
Of course.
It's storylines. Their storylines aren't strong enough.
Twitter, Max Seth Stylist says, Lita is wrestling at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view in the year 2022. She just in awe of the fact that she's able to perform in 2022 right now. So, all right, you know what time it is? It's time for some birthdays. Shall we do birthdays?
Sure, why not?
Don't be too excited. It's that time of the show where we want to wish everybody a happy birthday. And if you're celebrating a birthday today through next Friday, which I believe is the 25th of February, first of all, we want to wish you a happy birthday from all of us here at Thoughts Count Anywhere and our nation.
Happy birthday to you.
Absolutely. And the song of Happy Birthday that you hear is currently performed by Pocket Aces here in Las Vegas. Today, February 19th, you're celebrating a birthday with Big John Studd, Francine, El Torito, Sean Spears, and Jack Gallagher. Jack Gallagher doesn't wrestle anymore, does he? Because he's got some legal issues.
You are correct.
There you go. February 20th, tomorrow, you're celebrating a birthday with Gail Kim and Killian Dane. Isn't Killian Sarah Logan's husband?
I believe so.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Trying to make some connections here for everybody. February 21st, Bertha Faye. Brodus Clay, who hasn't been around for a long time.
He wrestles in the NWA now.
Oh, he does? Okay. Carlito and Tommy Mercer. The 24th of February, the now former Intercontinental title holder Shinsuke Nakamura and Mrs. Carmella Corey Graves celebrates her birthday on February 24th. And on Friday the 25th, Sean O'Hare, DJ Gabriel, Maria Kanellis, and the aforementioned many times during the show, woo! Ric Flair celebrating a birthday February 25th. Happy birthday to all of you celebrating as well with these folks too.
Philip Campbell in our chat room, he says his birthday is on February 24th.
There you go. Happy birthday, Philip Campbell. We appreciate that. Happy birthday to you as well. Good stuff.
And just so everybody knows,
I think I hurt my voice doing the woo.
The comment about Lita being in the ring.
Yep.
Miss Lita's 46 years old.
There you go.
And she can still go. Okay.
Yep. Well,
So-
she's still in great shape to go, and
I think her and Trish Stratus are the two, in my mind, that who I enjoyed watching wrestling.
back in the day.
The women. It's good to see them. They can still get in the ring and not miss a beat.
There you go.
Almost like the
You're not
fabulous,
saying-
almost like the
damn it, you
fabulous
took it out.
Moolah and Mae Young.
No,
But a different era.
no.
Yes.
Fabulous Moolah
In
and
a
Mae
di-
Young,
in a-
different. Yeah, absolutely.
In a different era.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen
Totally.
to what I'm saying.
I did. I did say that. But what I was going to say, because Serge, you're right. Serge, you're right. Losing a battle with our table. What I was going to say is if they came back today to wrestle, that would be a hell of a task, considering they're dead. I mean, that would be.
Hey, you know,
can't bring them back. Yes.
I would love to see Princess Victoria and Miss McIntyre come back and wrestle.
I would go for that.
Because, I don't know, did you meet Miss Oates?
I did not. You mean at Unicon?
Yeah.
No, I did not. I
No,
missed her.
at Cauliflower Alley.
No, I did not. I missed her.
She was, when she wrestled, she was Princess Victoria.
Okay. No, I did not get a chance. I thought you were talking about Victoria like Lisa Vachon.
No.
I'm in love with her, by the way, when I met her at Unicon.
Well,
I just want Stacy Keibler to come back.
if she comes this year, she's sitting next to me
Who?
again.
Lisa.
Victoria. So
Oh,
I'm
you mean if we do a show?
Yeah, I'm pulling age rank on that one.
Well, she was next to you, wasn't she?
Yeah.
It was me, then her, then you, then
and
Matt.
she gonna be next to me
Play
again
seniority rank.
because she likes to drink coffee.
There you go. Well, I'll let you guys fight that out. So I know where my seat's going to be. That's all I know. All right, let's. We have only about 5 to 7 minutes left. What other topics we want to hit?
Hey, everybody, go over to Boulevard Mall today. See Mr. Scott Hosey at his show today and tomorrow from 11 to 7 at the Boulevard Mall. There's sports cards, Pops, Funko Pops.
Cards.
Everything you can imagine.
You bet.
At great prices.
By the way, a message came in through Twitter that I saw come up, and I didn't have a chance to mention it, but our producer put it up on the prompter. The Twitter follower said that they enjoy watching us, makes watching wrestling more interesting.
Thank you.
So does that mean we have to do a show every time there's a pay-per-view now?
Probably.
Appreciate that.
Most of them are on Saturdays.
Appreciate that.
That's right. It'll be Saturday nights, though, right?
Hey,
Well, we can
I
always do
gotta,
special shows.
I gotta tell you, two women got. I like their costumes. They look good. Becky looks good.
Oh.
Becky looks good in a onesie.
Brandy, thank
Becky
you, Brandy.
could look good in a paper bag.
I was.
Don't say that, man. That's
Hashtag Twitter. I am the great Don Cornholio. Okay.
You win for best name already.
Says that Lita's wrestling at 50, but she's close to 50. She's not 50.
yeah. She's 46, Don.
And Brandy
46.
Brandy Merrick in the chat room. Thank you, Brandy. Dane, she mentions, believes is married to Nikki Ash. So I could be off on the couple ship there.
Let the research.
Becky's trying to do a Beck
Oh,
Exploder.
Killian Dane. Yeah, he's married to Nikki.
There you go.
ASA.
Okay.
All right. So
Brandy,
thank you, Brandy.
my
It's one of the
Brandy.
Viking Raiders that's married to
Brandy Merrick, how you doing, honey?
Yeah, but good to see Brandy out there. It's been a while.
How you doing, honey?
Meantime, this match between Becky and Lita going back and forth. Lita just blocked a Beck Exploder and turned it into a nice DDT move there to keep things going. Sarah Logan is married to Eric from the Viking Raiders. I knew there was a Viking somewhere in there.
I'm glad you straightened me out, Brandy.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
All right, before we wrap up, gentlemen, let's talk about real quickly. The Super Bowl was last Sunday. Rams defeated the Bengals. Chief and I and Scott talked about it previously. What was your thoughts on? Did you watch? Did you get a chance?
Yeah,
to
I
watch?
watched it. It was a good game.
Yeah.
I figured I called the Rams winning the Super Bowl like weeks ago. As soon as they signed Von Miller and OBJ, I was like, damn, they're totally going to win it. I was just hoping my 49ers were going to get directly in their way like they did. But it was a good game.
Here we go. Cover.
And then I really wanted them to win after that, like, face mask to Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah. And you know who I blame for not that call? The back judge.
Yeah.
The back judge would have been the only referee that would have had the view of that angle because the side judge could not have had view of it. The line judge on the other side of the field would have been no position. The back judge was the person that would have had the best angle based on the TV angle we saw.
Yeah.
That should have thrown the flag if they saw it.
True.
But the fact that there was no, and that's not a red flag reviewable play. It is, it is what it is. You just have to kind of go with it. But halftime, I shared this on the penalty box. There's been a lot of talk this past week about the halftime show. You like the show.
Epic.
Okay. Old school, not our taste. But I want to share this with you because the NFL talks about how wholesome the games are supposed to be and how wholesome halftime shows are supposed to be, right? So listen to these stats, okay? The F word was used 13 times. The N word, 16 times. MF, 4 times. The P word, 3 times. And the B word, 24 times. So we asked the NFL, is that wholesome? Probably not. Just thought I'd share that stat.
Oh, no, Janet Jackson kind of started that whole thing.
That's true, but it was very quick. It was over. It was over in a blink of an eye.
That was the most entertaining halftime show they've had in years.
What was the purpose of 50 Cent hanging upside down? I didn't understand that.
Oh, no, I'm sure he's still catching his breath from that, though.
Well, he had to do something to recover from the really bad first pitch he threw out at a Mets game years ago.
Oh, that was hilarious.
That was, but of course, he also looks very different physically from then to the way he does now as well. So one could wonder. But anyway, all right. Brandy Merrick, Cooper Kupp, though. Cooper Kupp won for MVP.
Yeah.
That dude is the business.
I'll tell you. Well, you know what? He's kind of like the who is the guy that New England had? I could see him, and I
Wes Welker.
Les Welker style player.
I would love to see Cooper Kupp and the young fella the Raiders have right now, Renfro, play together. That would be awesome.
If OBJ didn't get hurt, I don't think that game would even have been close.
Well, OBJ, we were talking about it earlier, with his knee that he blew out was the same one he blew out a couple of years ago. Who knows if he can even come back. But here's where you got to tip your cap to Kupp. Tip your cap to Kupp, say that fast. So, because they were doubling Kupp to get to, and that's why OBJ had a great first half going until he got hurt, right?
Yeah.
OBJ is out. They still double-teamed Kupp. He still got open. Still got the touchdown and still became MVP. That tells you how good he is.
Good ball player. Yes.
For this year. Let's see what he can do next year because nobody really knew who he was until this year.
It's crazy. They said during the Jerry Rice was the only person to win the receiving Triple Crown, win the Super Bowl MVP, and something else, and it took his entire career to do it.
Yep.
Cooper Kupp did it in one season.
Yeah. Yep.
That's nuts.
But now the telltale sign, he's got to do something dramatic next year as well in terms of a receiver. Otherwise, this year will just be looked at as a flash in the pan kind of year for him. In my opinion.
After you start breaking records and you win Super Bowl MVP, how do you upgrade for next year?
Well, you just got to have a consistent year. You need 100 receptions, you need 1,000 yards, and you need double-digit touchdowns again.
Oh, I'm sure he'll do that easy.
So far, so good. All right, with that, we're at the end of it while the Becky Lynch Lita match continues on at the Elimination Chamber. Apparently, Becky's frustration is starting to show some frustration that she hasn't been able to put Lita away at this point. So,
Cooper Kupp played at a great college.
Where did he play?
Eastern Washington.
Okay. Well, how much? He's
now that says something about small colleges. That a fella like Cooper Kupp, it doesn't make any difference where you go to college and where you play your college career. You can make it in the NFL.
Brian Flores, thank you, Desert Shark, is apparently joining the Steelers as his defensive coordinator. The current quarterback for Washington, now the Washington Commanders, who took over late season last year, and his name escapes me, he went to Old Dominion. That's where my daughter works. Old Dominion Monarchs.
ODU.
Okay, so you talk now, and he had a relatively good season for a guy who came in mid-season. He destroyed my Giants in the game that he first started against, of course. But there's another example.
That's not hard to do.
I know. We could all go out there and beat the Giants. But there's another example of where a guy's not coming. ODU is a Division I school, but it's not one of the most recognizable. Where a guy comes in and he has a solid start to his NFL career, and one can only hope will continue. All right, with that, we're up against it. The clock is running out. This Lita match and Becky Lynch match has been tremendous from what we're seeing. With that, we're going to wish you all adieu. Gentlemen, final thoughts as we say goodbye.
Everybody have a good, safe week. See you next week.
Happy President's Day to everyone.
There you go. Yes.
Enjoy. If you're off Monday, enjoy it.
There you go. As always, we appreciate you watching us and making us part of your day. Coming up at the top of the hour, Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips, my special in-studio guest, the sexy, wild thing, Miss Lucy May. She has a show coming up next month. I believe March 3rd is the date. She's coming in. We'll talk about the show, her performances. Looks like we now have a winner. And still the Raw Women's Champion title holder, so that Becky can face Bianca at WrestleMania. Anyway, so we'll see you in an hour. Thank you for watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. I'm Aaron Phillips. Wishing you a great week. Be kind to everybody. Why is that? We're all we have. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in an hour. Aaron's Hour. Top of the hour.
Peace and bacon.